The tractor has not been working for a few days now. Originally, as I turned over the ignition key, the entire dashboard just all of a sudden went black and lost power. It seems like something electrical, but as you can tell, I'm unable to open the hood of the tractor without taking the front loader off, which of course is super hard without the tractor actually running. This sucks because it seems like I'm going to need to tow the tractor somewhere for somebody to work on it, which is not just a big pain, but also an expense. I use a farm jack to lift up the front loader. It will need to be up when towing the tractor so that the bucket doesn't dig into the ground. My idea is to use ratchet straps between the bucket and the rollover bar to make sure that the front loader stays up without those pieces of lumber in place. I have to be very careful as there are many small diameter hydraulic lines running all along the front loader that seem like they could easily be damaged. And as I'm tightening the second strap, this happens. Of course, my immediate suspicion is that I did indeed damage one of those hydraulic lines, causing them to lose pressure, which makes the bucket drop. This is great. At this point, I'm not fixing anything, just making it worse. And to make this entire task even less fun, the weather is terrible. You may have noticed me inflating this tire a few times in previous videos. It's damaged and flat. It will hold air for a few days, but usually that means before I use the tractor I have to inflate it. At some point, I'm going to treat myself to a new tire. My new idea is running a piece of lumber underneath the bucket to support it. As you can tell in this shot, I'm starting to lift the front tire of the tractor off of the ground, but I'm not realizing this as I'm working on it. It's scary to have the tractor move while you're squatting underneath it, and it takes me a few seconds to figure out what happened. My last idea is to take the 2x4, lay it across the supporting structure of the front loader, and then lower the bucket down onto it slowly with the farm jack. I'm always nervous about pinching my hands when reversing the direction of the farm jack, so I tap it with the piece of wood. Yeah, this is going great. Well, at least the front loader's up. I managed to get the plow truck past the deck without removing the plow itself, which is huge. At this point the weather is so bad that I can't set up a camera and just have it running, so these are cell phone shots, which unfortunately means you will not see the towing itself. All in all, this part that I was really nervous about goes surprisingly well. Now that I got the tractor close to the house, I realized that the side panels of the hood actually can be completely removed and are not fastened with the hinge at the top like I originally thought, but instead are sitting in some kind of weird rubber seal that just looks like a hinge. This is awesome. I'd like to believe that there's quite a few things that I can at least do a decent job at. Fixing engines or working on cars or vehicles of any sort is definitely not on the list. I do know how to charge a battery, so this is pretty much my last try before having to figure out how to haul this thing to someone who knows what they're doing. And she starts up. Awesome. Even the front loader seems to be okay and working. And just like that, I go from a multi-day headache that would have probably involved renting a trailer to a running tractor. tractor running again, I can finally get to something that's been overdue for a while, which is getting rid of some of the wood ash that's accumulating next to the boiler. I decide to spread it on the lower clearing where we're planning on putting the orchard next year as fertilizer. I didn't do any sort of calculation as far as pounds per unit area to be applied, so hopefully this will be okay. We'll be able to tell come next year. With the barrel emptied, I can remove some more ashes from the firebox, which have been building up on the bottom and probably preventing an ideal heat transfer between the fire and the water surrounding it. By the way, we just did a tally and we went through 13 cords, or just under 34 cubic meters of firewood in 2022. I'm curious to see how things like an electric water heater and improving insulation in the attic will lower this consumption in the future. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.